the great Bernard Hopkins. Bernard.
Trust me, I'm gonna be short. First, I'd like to thank everybody up here, Freddy Roach, Mr. Stern, everybody up here, my friends, Suleiman, WBC, well-respected, first title. The boxing recognized, and boxing people in the business recognize it, and I respect it, and always will. Bragging rights. Now, we're in a sport that we all know, like any sport, you want to be the best and you want to say you're the best, but you know, you want to prove it too. Very few really prove it the way that they talk it. So I'm just, first of all, I want to thank Cotto and also Canelo, because without them wanting to fight, we've seen this over and over, and we wind up hearing soap operas about why fights don't happen. If the fighters want to fight and they have a control over their life and their destiny and what they want to be and what they want to be recognized at, they'll make the fight, and we have that. So that's a plus not only for their career and their legacy, but it's a plus for boxing. It's a plus for boxing in a lot of ways. Through mainstream sports, mainstream business people that's not in our sport, but watch our sport for good or bad reasons. So I'm glad to be a part of the middleweight division. At this time, the middleweight division is something, as you know, that's dear to me. And it's something that I always tell people, it started from the middleweight division. My foundation, my history, my legacy started from 160. And as Oscar mentioned, you know about the defenses, you know about 12 years, 11 and a half years I reigned as a middleweight champion. And to see that the middleweight division, that I have a extremely biased opinion about, because I respect it so much that I stayed there so long and made the best that I could, and even above that. Thanks, Miguel. Thanks, Canelo for giving us this mega fight that's coming up at the end of the year. Now, I pay attention to math and I pay attention to the year. And boxing always seemed in the last few years start off real big. Everybody's talking. And then it sort of fades into Never Never Land sometime at the end of the year in a long time. And for a long time, people asked me back in Philly, where there's a big pay-per-view market there and viewers that like big fights like this, love it. When the next big fight? Next year? This year, I responded with the October fight, Lemieux and Triple G. And now, this fight coming up Saturday on HBO pay-per-view. I don't know, maybe y'all keeping score. It's been a long time since we had 2 or 3 mega fights, Mr. Suleiman, in 1 year. In 1 year. And they don't have to get a second mortgage to watch these fights. They can buy these fights and be proud that they got a chance to support their countrymen. So thanks again, and you know what? If anyone think that boxing, for some reason, in the last year and a half, because I had to do so many interviews, that boxing is somehow forgotten about, this is why boxing is not forgotten about. It never will. Thank you.
Thank you, Bernard. And now it is my pleasure to introduce to you Team Canelo. First off, I am pleased to introduce to you a man who has been with Canelo since the beginning of his career, as an amateur, as a professional. He is the head trainer for Saul Canelo Alvarez, Eddie Reynoso.
Buenas tardes a todos los aquí presentes.
Good afternoon to everyone.
Y antes que nada, pues felicitar aquí a Saúl por todo el empeño y la dedicación que mostró a lo largo de todo el campamento.
And I also want to congratulate Saul for his dedication, for all the hard work and everything he did, all the sacrifices he put throughout camp.
Gracias a eso logramos una gran preparación y pues solo decirles que el sábado estamos listos para ganar el segundo título del organismo más prestigioso en el boxeo, que es el Consejo Mundial de Boxeo. Muchísimas gracias.
And to let everyone know that we're prepared, that we're ready to win our second world title, WBC title, on Saturday night, November 21st. Thank you very much.
Also, I'd like to welcome up to the podium, he is the manager and co-trainer for Saul Canelo Alvarez. He is Chepo Reynoso.
Muy buenas tardes a todos ustedes, de veras gracias por su asistencia, por todo lo que están apoyando a esta gran función.
Good afternoon to everyone. I want to thank you for your assistance and thank you all for the support that you're doing for this great event.
En el equipo de Canelo tenemos un principio que dice, lo que se hace bien no puede salir mal.
In the team, in the Canelo team, we have a saying that starts by saying, what you do right cannot have a bad outcome.
Durante 14 semanas trabajamos con entusiasmo. No hubo un día que nos levantáramos sin esa alegría, sin ese entusiasmo, sin esos deseos de avanzar, de progresar, de ver el 21 de noviembre al Canelo con el brazo en alto. Ningún día nos levantamos de malas, siempre con el entusiasmo, con el optimismo, con los deseos de trabajar.
We worked very hard during 14 weeks in camp, and not one day was it without enthusiasm, motivation, hard work, and knowing that everything was going to pay off on November 21st when we saw Canelo's hand raised in victory.
Pero ahora, después de 14 semanas, vemos los resultados. Vemos a un Canelo como nunca, con ese entusiasmo, con esa ilusión, con esos deseos de ser el más grande.
Now, after 14 weeks of hard work, we see him, we're a few days away, with the same enthusiasm, with the same motivation to be big, to be the champion, to be one of the best.
En el equipo de Canelo también decimos, las peleas se ganan en el gimnasio. En el cuadrilátero solo te levantan la mano y eso va a pasar el sábado. Muchas gracias.
And also another saying that we have in the team, the fights are won in the gym. In the ring, you're just going to raise your hand. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you Saturday night.
Thank you very much. And now, I'd like to introduce to you former two-time super welterweight world champion. At just 25 years old, he has already conquered much of the boxing world. He has captivated fans around the world with his action-packed fighting style, with his charisma, and with his willingness to take on the toughest challenges. And obviously this is no exception. He last fought James Kirkland in front of 31,000 people at the Minute Maid Park in Houston, where he had an incredible, impressive knockout in the third round. Many say that can be the knockout of the year. I would like to introduce to you de Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico. He is the Mexican superstar Saul Canelo Alvarez.
Bueno, solamente quiero agradecerles todo el apoyo que me han brindado, que le han brindado a la función.
Well, I just want to thank you all for all the support that you've given me and the support you've given this great event.
Agradecerle a toda la gente el recibimiento que me dan a cada uno de los lugares que voy. Estoy muy agradecido con todos ellos.
Also, the reception that everyone, each and every one of you give me everywhere I go, I'm very grateful to you.
Hice una gran preparación. Ya, gracias a Dios, estamos a días de la pelea, solamente esperando con ansias y a la misma vez paciencia para que llegue el día y subirme a hacer mi trabajo y al final de la pelea que me levanten el brazo.
I've had a great preparation, worked very hard, anxious, we're only a few days away, but patiently waiting for Saturday night to have my hand raised once again.
Será una gran pelea, lo sé, es una pelea muy dura, pero estamos listos para este gran reto que tenemos enfrente y estoy muy motivado por esto. Muchas gracias a todos por el apoyo.
It's going to be a difficult fight, I know that, but that's why I prepared properly, and we're ready to give you a great, great fight. Thank you to everyone.
Thank you, Saul. Before Michael Yormark calls up Team Cotto, I just received a message with all the controversy surrounding his comments. Even Donald Trump is going to buy this fight. Imagine that. So that's how big it is. Michael?
Thank you for that news, Oscar. For now, we introduce Team Cotto. One of the things that I truly admire about a champion like Miguel Cotto is his sense of family and his sense of team. He knows that he's only as good as the team around him. And in Hector Soto, he has one of the most passionate, experienced, and sincere men in the entire boxing industry. Hector is truly a class act, and one of the big reasons Miguel has all of the success he has achieved in his career. So it is my honor to introduce, from Team Cotto, Hector Soto.
Buenas tardes a todos.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Quiero agradecer a nuestro socio Ron Nation, a Golden Boy Promotion, a Canelo Promotion, por hacer realidad este evento, a HBO Pay Per View y al señor Stone por estar aquí en la tarde de hoy.
I want to say thank you to Rock Nation, to Golden Boy Promotions, Cotto Promotions, Canelo Promotions, HBO, and Mr. Stern from the Mandalay Bay. Thank you.
Agradecer también la presencia de nuestro amigo Mauricio Sulimán por estar aquí en la tarde de hoy.
I also want to say thank you to our friend Mauricio Sulaiman for being here present this afternoon.
De este sábado van a ser ustedes testigos de lo que yo diría la mejor pelea en los pasados 10 años.
This Saturday, all of us will witness probably the best fight in the last 10 years.
Miguel Cotto en los pasados 8 semanas ha trabajado duro y este próximo sábado veremos los resultados de este gran trabajo para esta gran pelea. Muchas gracias a todos y buenas tardes.
For the last 8 weeks, Miguel Cotto has trained very hard to get ready for this fight. So thank you everybody, and we'll see you Saturday night.
Miguel Cotto once said that Freddy Roach is Scottie Pippen to his Michael Jordan. That should tell you all you need to know about Freddie's influence on Miguel's performances in the ring since they joined forces in 2014. Simply put, Freddy Roach is a legend in the fight game. And as fans, we are so lucky to see him ringside, as we are to see champions like Cotto and Canelo inside the ring. Now, I know Freddy has a very specific strategy in mind for this upcoming fight. as well as a very bold prediction. So hopefully, he's willing to share some of those thoughts with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, the legendary Freddy Roach.
Thank you. Miguel's had a great training camp for training hard for this fight. I'd like to thank Team Cotto, everyone that was involved. Thank you for all your help. And we're 100% ready for this fight. The biggest fight of the year, and Miguel's ready. I've never seen him better than this. Thank you.
I have worked in the sports and entertainment industry for over a quarter of a century. And I have worked with and spent time with athletes in nearly every sport. I have never, I repeat, never seen an athlete as committed to performing the task in front of them as Miguel Cotto is for this fight. There are over 300,000 compliments I could pay the champ Miguel Cotto. But one thing I can tell you is when I visited him in training camp, I walked away literally exhausted by his effort, his passion, and his commitment. And I came away feeling pretty bad for Canelo. It is clear that Miguel Cotto fights for a purpose well beyond himself. He fights for family, and he fights for country. He knows the history of Puerto Rico versus Mexico rivalry. He knows that Puerto Rico currently holds the advantage, and he fully intends to extend that advantage on Saturday night. And now, without further ado, the champ, the legend, the future Hall of Famer, Miguel Cotto.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, everybody, to be here. We are hours away from the fight. We just had a good training camp in LA. 7 weeks, 1 week here. There's going to be 8 weeks for this fight, and all I have to say is that I'm ready for the fight. I know Canelo and his team is ready too, and let's get this fight what the fans need from us. Thank you.
I believe that concludes our press conference. I think we're ready for photos now.